Salam Media actively moving with our very special guest here, Swedish doctor, Dr. Mads Gilbert, on his South African tour. As we've just spoken to Inayat Wadi before the break on our event last night, which was a huge success, and he moves on to Durban. And we speak to the organizers of the Durban event, that is Sister Nadia Meer from Two Sons and Shamsaan organization and chairperson of the Caring Sisters Network, Yasiera Mahomed. Assalamu alaikum rahmatullah and welcome to the program, Sister Yasiera and Nadia.
Walaikum salam.
Assalamu alaikum.
Walaikum salam wa rahmatullah. I know I took both your names together. So I'm going to give Nadia a quick opportunity to speak to us as she's indicated. So Nadia, the time, the venue, and how you've collaborated with Salam Media. Please give us a quick breakdown on that.
Well, we're very excited to be hosting Dr. Mads Gilbert in Durban, and we're really looking forward to welcoming him. Tomorrow, he has quite a busy lineup, and the public program will be starting in the afternoon from 2:30 at the NMJ Hall. And the official program, where he will speak, will be in the evening from 7 p.m. Yasiera will fill you in on more of the afternoon activities.
All right. So Yasiera, can you follow up on that? What are the activities? I see you have, I think it's a brilliant idea that you've actually extended the time for the event tomorrow from the afternoon right up into the late evening. You're saying open till 10 p.m. So and of course with the activities that you've planned, everything has a message for the Palestinians and the Palestinian struggle. Give us some idea of what you have planned.
Okay, Jazakallah. Sister Najma, so obviously Gaza is bleeding, and so are all our hearts. Obviously, when Nadia brought us on and said, there's this opportunity, and Dr. Mads Gilbert is coming to South Africa, and she brought us on board. So, being a medical doctor and me being the chairperson of Islamic Medical Association of Durban, and coming in from the humanitarian side of Caring Sisters Network, I obviously jumped at the opportunity to come on board to assist Nadia with the event. So we obviously looked at the whole thing and we said, okay, so we're bringing in Dr. Mads Gilbert only at about 7 o'clock to the venue to address our public. But what else can we do to make the event, firstly, a little bit more attractable for people to come, and also to get them more aware and to get them more involved in everything that's happening at the moment in Gaza. We're all watching videos, we're watching our social medias, we're watching photographs, and we're all sitting here helpless and feeling, what do we do? So that's where I've come in on board, to say, okay, let us get our community more involved, get them in touch with everything, and get them on a more, hands-on feel with the event and with Dr. Mads Gilbert. So we decided to go on a fundraising drive and introduce food stalls and a whole lot of activities for our community, for the kids, for the adults. And we've actually got some exciting lineup, with the activities. We've brought in where our kiddies can actually come and do paintings for Palestine. Nadia has had these amazing ideas, which she has done before, where you can actually come in and write a postcard to a Palestinian, either a child or an adult. We've got a wall of hope that we're creating. We hope it's starting this afternoon. We're creating a wall of hope. I'm going to leave one or two other aspects of the activities to Nadia, because she'll actually explain to you exactly what we're doing with the activities. But on our end also, we've also got a lot of food stalls, a lot of vendors who are going to be there. And just to let you know, we didn't just go for the ordinary pop-up food stores. This is an initiative where a whole lot of women's groups in Durban, like I said, we all have been sitting here feeling a bit hopeless. Me from the Caring Sisters Network side, yes, I've been doing my fundraising, but I call that all silent fundraising, if you know what I mean, because
Yes.
It's a matter of putting out your messages on social media and collecting the funds, and yet people are sympathetic and towards the cause, and they end up just EFTing the funds to you, and that's about it. You then send off your funds to the organization that you're collaborating with to get the funds overseas, to get it for the purpose. But that is silent fundraising, if you ask me. To
Right.
me, this is active fundraising, getting involved, getting your hands out there, doing the work. So I decided, okay, let's call all the women's groups. Whenever I'm walking around meeting people, wherever, oh, we see what you're doing and you're fundraising for an ambulance and for the medical and for this and for relief. We'd like to get involved. So that's when I got all the women's groups in Durban together, said, you guys want to get involved? Come and get involved. Let's do this ourselves. We're not going to
Right.
call up pop-ups. We're going to get involved ourselves. Let's do this ourselves. So we decided to just do it ourselves. We've got a whole lot of food stalls. We're running it ourselves. We come together as the Durban Sisters for Gaza group, all the women's groups in Durban.
Wonderful.
Yeah, alhamdulillah. And we're doing the fundraising ourselves. So we've got a silent auction. We've got beautiful art pieces on auction. We've got beautiful jewelry pieces on auction, all sponsored by, we'll mention all the names at the event. And we've got food stalls, and we've got a taste for everybody. We've got savories, cakes, chicken tikkas. We've got, all the popular vendors in Durban. And I must say thank you to the vendors who've come on board with us as well, because they themselves have been looking for something to do to fundraise. So they've come on board. They've joined the Durban Sisters for Gaza, whereas they're not going to be there as pop-ups where, generally pop-ups would give you a certain portion. Here, it's all 100%,
Right.
alhamdulillah, for the cause. Alhamdulillah.
Right. So I'm very glad that you mentioned the aspect of fundraising, because this is the main purpose of Dr. Mads Gilbert's visit, apart from, of course, creating more awareness and giving us the stories from the ground. So the fundraising is, in fact, the focus. And I'm very glad that you've actually taken it a step further. Perhaps you can elaborate a little more on that, although we've been promoting the fact that it's for medical supplies, mainly because you are also a medical doctor. Dr. Mads Gilbert is after listening to him, last night, and he speaks of the deprivation as a medical practitioner. I can't imagine how desperate that feeling must be, to go in and then help, but there's nothing to work with. It's beyond tragic. So these funds that have to go through, and where they go to, and how they're being used, is extremely important. So please, can you elaborate on that?
So I think on that aspect, yes, we know we are fundraising for medical care in Gaza. At the moment, we all know what the logistics are with getting aid past the border, even those of us that have fundraised just for general food and general relief. There is a major stumbling block. And I think Nadia can come in here and she can give us a little bit more about that, because she's more in tune with that sort of logistics when it comes to, with us here in South Africa. From what I believe, with communicating with the organizations who are on the ground there. For example, we know Gift of the Givers has had presence there, and many other organizations as well. There's just I won't get into the politics of it, but there is just red tape. So
Yeah.
right now, as we all are doing, we are fundraising. There is, I won't say there isn't uncertainty, but we're all still waiting for that green light, if you know what I mean. And when the
Absolutely.
green light flashes, at the moment there's red lights. When the green light flashes, like when you're at a robot, you cannot stand there and wait. You cannot stand there and think. You cannot stand there and then plan and then start loading the trucks and then start ordering the ambulances and then start ordering the medical supplies. So yes, we are getting a lot of questions as to why are we fundraising when nothing's going in? But like I just explained, when that green light flashes, you got to move.
You have to
So
be
that's
ready.
what the preparation is all about. You fundraising and preparing, and like we're saying for this year, Dr. Mads Gilbert, coming from the medical profession, we're raising specifically for medical funds, medical aid, right? Whether it's going to be medication, whether it's going to be equipment. Remember, at the moment, Al Shifa is under attack. Indonesian hotel is under attack, and those, I believe, are the only two hospitals that are left standing at the moment. And there's going to be so much needed. But when the green light goes, it's going to have to move in immediately. So that's what the fundraising is about. But Dr. Mads Gilbert, be having experience there, first-hand experience there for the past 40 years from what I'm reading from CV. And we've been hearing all his interviews, and he's waiting to go in there. And that's what the fundraising is about. To get in
Right.
there, remember, there's going to be blood. What about blood supply? There's going to be a shortage of
Mm.
blood supply as well. Who's going to be there to donate blood? So we're going to have to send a whole lot of things, equipment. Hospitals are going to have to be built from scratch. Probably that's obviously a long term thing, but that's what the fundraising is about. Getting the funds ready now, getting the supplies ready now, so that when that green light flashes, you are ready to go with it.
Right. Nadia, can you hear us? Nadia? I don't think she can hear
Hello,
us. Hello,
can you
Nadia?
hear me?
Yes, we can. Can you comment on what Yasiera had just said?
Yes. So, there's lots to speak about. In terms of what is happening there and the need, it's absolutely dire, and so we're really trying to mobilize funding, of course, on. In terms of what we can do, but we're partnering with a lot of other organizations nationally in South Africa, locally in Durban. The major human rights organizations like Amnesty and others will all be attending and assisting. We've got other civil societies also coming on board, and we have, even in our protest actions thus far, been working with many organizations, and we're hoping to continue to build relationships. In terms of Dr. Mads Gilbert coming through, we're really looking forward to learning more of the first-hand information that only he, having worked there and having been there at the border now, will be able to update us on. And I'm hoping that that will inspire even more participation.
Mm-hmm.
So, in terms of the education, with Shamsaan, we've always had a strong focus on educating and interacting directly with young people. And so a lot of the activities, the exhibition, and that aspect of engagement, we've got youth, we've got students involved, and they will be engaging with young people. And I think that that definitely, that kind of engagement is so important, because we all know what we're seeing, but don't necessarily understand all that is happening.
Right. And I see you have quite a lineup of speakers. I'm going to leave this open to either Yasiera or Nadia, whomever wishes to answer. One of whom is Nkosi Mandela. You've got MPs and solidarity movement, civil society, labor, and faith groups involved. Give us a breakdown on that, Nadia or Yasiera? Nadia?
Nadia.
All right, Nadia.
Yeah. Well, yes. As I just was mentioning, there are a lot of organizations that have been involved, where political, the faith groups have all come out making strong statements, as we've witnessed in Gaza. Even the church was not spared bombing. And so, collective voices are really important. And right now, across the world, we're seeing millions of people stepping up. And this is putting pressure on governments that are actually been aiding the genocide that is happening. And we're hoping with mobilizations, across the world, and also looking at us as South Africans that have been through similar, I think we have a very important role to play. And having Dr. Mads Gilbert and people like him to help inspire us to do more will be wonderful.
Durban Sisters for Gaza. I wish you all the best. I think it's a wonderful initiative. Thank you for collaborating with Salam Media on a speaking tour with Salam Media. And of course, your initiative will be a success because we're doing it for humanitarian reasons, and your appeal is heard loudly, and we will continue to promote your event so that you can have maximum overwhelming attendance and success. So if you have any other words to share with us, please go ahead, Yasiera, in closing.
Inshallah, Jazakallah for that very encouraging. Because I must tell you, we're a bit hesitant. We were a bit hesitant because it is a school day. We know matric exams are on. We know Friday afternoon people are generally just taking it easy after their Jummah lunches. But what we are encouraging people to do is come out. Like Nadia said, you have Dr. Mads Gilbert, a doctor who's been there for so many years, first-hand education and awareness coming from him. We're seeing it on social media, but we've got somebody who's going to be talking it, not talking to us, talking it as to exactly what's going on. And on the fundraising part, like I explained, Alhamdulillah, like we say, this is the least we can do. Like I mentioned, this is where we can personally come in and give of ourselves to the people of Gaza who are in desperate need at the moment for our assistance. Yes, we're all
Right.
making the du'as and we're all doing
Yes.
everything, but come and
Yes.
get involved and support us, inshallah.
Yes. There's something very important I want to mention just before closing, and that is quoting Dr. Mads Gilbert last night, not verbatim, but this is what he said, that, we look at it, we feel bad, we read the articles, we see the videos, we listen to the news bulletins and clips all over and reels all over, and then we scroll, and then we feel bad and we cry and we turn over. We turn over and we continue with our lives. So if
100%.
anything, tomorrow after Jummah, there's no other place to be. Get off and get out and be there. Just be there. That's what we're asking you to do. Inshallah.
100%. Jazakallah for that. That's exactly what my words would be right now. Come and be part of it all because we all are seeing it. I mean, last night I sat and I cried as I watched the video. We're all doing it all the
Yeah.
time. But here we go.
Yeah.
Here's an opportunity. Come and get involved and contribute and just come and learn and listen and hear.
Thank you so much to both our guests, Nadia and Yasiera. All the best. Jazakallah khair for your time. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Jazakallah khair for the opportunity. Wa alaikum salam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
And just having spoken about, us just continuing with our lives after we shed a tear and after we feel helpless and hopeless and horrible and so affected by this, I think it's an opportune moment to share with you a poem that's written by a doctor working at Baragwanath Hospital. Her name is Aisha. This is what she has penned. It's titled No Bombs Blast Bearer. 3 a.m. is always heavy. The droopy, sleepy eyes, the hurting heart, the lack of coherent thought. A drip, an obstetric patient, gauze wipes away the small red trickle on her wrist. Gauze originates from Gaza. My patient sighs in relief, the spinal analgesis, her labor contractions. Caesarean sections performed without analgesia. A vial shaken, an intravenous injection later. Cyclocapron coagulates, clots. Hysterectomy is performed for all postpartum hemorrhage. Faint white residue stains my finger. Cavzol's ammonia scent. Vinegar used to clean wounds. A poorly picked playlist pains, but no bombs blast bearer. Shifa Hospital maternity section bombed. I'm ashamed, angry, appreciative. Alhamdulillah. My 3 a.m. isn't heavy. My heart is heavier instead. On that note, we end this program. Inshallah, stay tuned to Salam Media for more updates and reports and much more local and international news. And thank you for the opportunity this morning. Standing in for Inayat Mahdi. I'm Inayat Wadi. I beg your pardon. I'm Najma Kota, bidding you farewell. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.